Aries, welcome to your weekend reading. Let's get started, Aries, and see what messages we have for your upcoming weekend. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Let's see what messages we have for your weekend coming up. Okay, Aries. Woo, did you see that flying around? That was the fates flying out. Something else and something. Oh, lots of cards flipping out for you. Oh, that's too many. Okay, we'll take the ones that flipped out at first. The cards have a big story today to tell for you. Bottom of the deck is flexible. Let's see what else you got here. Fork in the road. Ooh, change in the wind and fork in the road. These are sequential. Card 12 and card 13. So you are moving towards something, my friends. You are moving right towards something here meant for you. You're being guided to be flexible as there is a change in the wind here for you, Aries. It's leading you to a fork in the road, and then I feel like you're going to have to make a decision. Now, it's interesting because you've also got the here and now card, another directional card. So as you're at the fork in the road, I feel like you're being guided to sort of stay in the moment as you make a decision about where you want to go next. So not to overly think about where you're off to, but to really focus on where you are now. These are very interesting cards when I see them come out together because it tells me that there's something in the present moment that's sort of guiding you right now. There's something in the present moment that's blowing a change in the wind because, you know, there's something here for you to be mindful of. It's definitely, I really feel like it's fated when I see the fates here. You're being moved around by divine intervention right now. And the best thing to do is to be flexible. You know, it's interesting. Change in the wind and flexible. When I see them together, that makes me think of like, if you were building, let's say, this is a funny analogy to use, but if you're a building during an earthquake, right? How do they design buildings for countries that have a lot of earthquakes? I just saw a show on this last night. In Japan, they make the building flexible so that it can sway with the earthquake without being so rigid that it vibrates and then collapses, right? And so same for you, Aries. Very interesting analogy. Same for you. Be flexible as this change in the wind happens because you know, you're almost going to need to be grounded and flexible. Grounded in the now, but flexible with your direction. Very interesting. This is fated. So something is really moving you towards something right now. Your higher self, your divine connection, your intuitive nature. Something is shifting for you in the wind here, and it's moving you to a new path. But it's almost like don't start putting the cart before the horse and or sort of feeling like you want to think back into the past. You're being guided to stay in the now, the here and now, and then make your choice. I feel after you've sort of discovered what the present moment has to teach you. There's something valuable in the here and now that you might not be focused on because maybe you're excited about the future. You know, like you might be anticipating an outcome, and so you're already in the future, which doesn't technically exist. So it's interesting. You're being guided to stay in the present, to experience something first, but be flexible. Don't get too attached to any one particular outcome here, Aries. Okay, let's grab the tarot cards and see where you're at now. Where is the present moment right now for Aries? This is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So that tells me that you are in your head right now, and it is a new path. It's an ace, but this is a time of reflection. When the Ace of Swords is in reverse, that tells me that this is time for you to do some introspection, some reflection. You're needing to sort of reflect on the present moment to understand something important. And when I am telling you, whenever I see cards that are in a sequence, 12 and 13 here, you're needing to pay attention to something that's in the present moment right now, and it will help you. But you need to be flexible and reflective inwardly. What are the obstacles for Aries in this situation? There they are. The Knight of Swords coming in to change your path, and the Hermit in reverse, because you need time to reflect, to understand what is the wisdom of the present moment right now. There is something in the present moment that you need to reflect on when I see the Hermit, but it's in reverse. So that tells me that's why you're getting this message of the here and now, is because you're being guided to pay attention to something in the present moment, because your present moment is about to change with this Knight of Swords coming in. You can see the Tower in the background of this card. This Knight is coming in, an emerging energy is coming in to change your daily life pattern. Ace of Swords is a new beginning. It's in reverse because you're needing to reflect more to understand what's shifting right now. Okay, Aries? And something is definitely shifting. There is a change in the wind. Here it is in the Knight of Swords and in the change in the wind card. So, you know, yeah, you really are being guided towards something. Very interesting. Let's see what's top of mind for you right now. Top of mind for you is the Nine of Cups. I love that. Top of mind for you is just, I want to be happy. I want to feel fulfilled. And I'm making my wish. Now, flexible. Be flexible. Don't get attached to just one outcome here. There are 9 cups, not one. So cast a wider net, Aries. Cast a wide net. Because if you get focused on this cup, and you're like, it's this cup or nothing, then you might find yourself sort of struggling in the change in the wind. Instead of like that building in Japan that sways with the earthquake and doesn't fall apart, you too must sway with the change in the wind and not get too attached to just one of these cups, right? Be flexible. Have an idea, a range, a spectrum of what makes you happy, what brings in emotional fulfillment, right? And then you will, I think, be able to meet that fork in the road when it's time. But staying grounded in the present and being flexible with your attachment to outcomes is really going to serve you. Now, let's see here. What's driving all of this? Woo, 2 cards. Did you see that? There's flying out for you. 2 of Pentacles and the Judgment card. So what's driving this reading, what's driving these messages for you, Aries, is that you have received sort of a fated or karmic outcome. Okay? And you need to be flexible here, not too attached to one outcome. And I almost feel like, as far as you're concerned, there are opposing forces pulling you in one direction or another. And that might be exactly why we see the Here and Now card, because you could be being pulled from future to past, right? These 2 pentacles could represent a future path and the past path, right? And or it could involve 2 options, both for the future. But you're being guided to really stay focused on the now and to reflect on the wisdom that the present moment is trying to teach you. Because, like I said, the present moment is about to go bye-bye. There is a big change in the wind happening here, and it's leading you to a fork in the road. I think that this reflection that we see in the Hermit in the present day, in the here and now, it's going to be really important when you get to this fork in the road that you have done that reflection, because I feel like, you know, your happiness is going to be down that path. So you're going to sort of need to understand the wisdom of what's happening in the present, so that when the day comes where it's time to make the choice about which way to go, you'll know, right? And I feel like the Judgment card is here to say that this is fated, that this is karmic. This is the outcome of stuff that's been done in the past. This is sort of a time that is is meant for you. You're moving towards something destined, karmic, and it could be coming out of an outcome of something else. And you might not know that yet, right? You might not see the connection yet. The change in the wind might reveal that to you, but I feel like being flexible is very important here, to not get too attached to one outcome, because there could be more hiding behind one of these cups than you even realize, right? Like sometimes I think, if we get too attached to the hill, we might not see the mountain range behind it in the distance, right? And so don't put the cart before the horse. Take this one step at a time. Make sure you're reflecting on the present moment to understand the wisdom of the experience that you've had so far, right? So that when the time comes to make a choice, when you get to that fork in the road, you'll be confident. Wow, what a lovely reading for you, Aries. Wishing you the best weekend as you sort of unpack all of this. And thank you so much for joining me for this reading. Sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful weekend.